Hello everyone, how's it going today? Happy Friday! We have some more Lego building to do, and I think that my camera issue is resolved for now, at least. It seems to work properly if I unplug it and replug it in after booting up the computer, so, fingers crossed. When I was messing around with it after the stream on Wednesday, I was like, I did that, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember doing this last week. I don't know why I didn't think of it beforehand, but unfortunately I did not. They're always very annoying. On the other hand, it does just go to show you that you should always try unplugging it and plugging it back in again. One day Ald will have equipment that works? No. That requires the tech companies to make stuff that works, and that's not happening. Just not happening. So how's everyone doing today? I am doing pretty well. Just sorting out these large plates. That should be good. Let's go ahead and move these two as well. There we go. Alright, so we are on bag 17, and this is the, basically the third of the stadium. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Let's see, well, actually we want more friction pins, but we'll start with just the 2. 17 of how many? I forget. 22, 23, something like that. But there are some duplicates. I mean, this was 2 17s. Wondering why it's so hard to find a cactus in the Veldt? Well, Velts aren't really known for cacti. Cacti are primarily a New World species, or line of plants. Which I did have someone get very angry at me when I was pointing that out during Baldur's Gate 1. And pointing out that they didn't grow in that region of Faerun. And then they really didn't like it when I found Ed Greenwood agreeing with me. They stopped watching my videos. Go figure. Howdy, Farron. How's it going? Pretty sure they were not transplanted. Pretty sure they were not transplanted. It's Friday afternoon and you're almost done with work, so doing good. Excellent. I, on the other hand, am just starting work. Actually, I'm not. I was doing some other work earlier. You could say I'm working the night shift. Is building Lego really work? I mean, it's my work at this point. And there we go. Most of the frame is done now. Lots of 2x2s with pins. Working hard to hardly working. I mean, I'm working hard here. Building Lego. I mean, I don't get many opportunities to build Lego outside of this, so... Partly because most of the stuff I buy now is for streaming. That's true. That is true, Klauth. I do have to put up with you guys. And I do want to note that I do have new LPs scheduled when Final Fantasy X and Eiyuden Chronicle finish up. One of which, on the Japanese box, said, "The Great Role-Playing Game." So you know, it's quality. You've rarely seen Rage? I try not to. I like partly because it's like it's just a game. I don't get too annoyed by it. I can get frustrated sometimes. If you want to see frustration, check out some of my Gundam LPs. Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam and Federation vs. Eon. I believe there is a little cursing in some of those. Just a tad, though. But no, I'm really not, like, I really do not find games that irritating, generally. And those games that I think would irritate me, I just don't play. But I do try to keep calm and carry on. Except I'm not British. So I suppose I shouldn't be able to do that. There we go. Got the underside on here. Sometimes I also find it just amusing when things don't go my way. You know, it's good to laugh at things like that. Speaking of tech issues, none so far. Did not see any. Yeah, I think I know how to fix it, or prevent it, I should say, which is good. You like to think you're pretty chill even with some anxiety issues? You don't yell or scream at people, for instance? Yeah, I have seen people do that. I have a story that I have told before. My car got towed once, and I was in at the impound picking it up, and this guy comes in swearing that, or I should say insisting that he was legally parked where he had been parked, and they should not have towed him. And the clerk lady at the desk is like, I have no control over that, sir. I just, you know, take the fee and give you the keys to your car back. You can appeal your ticket and get a refund and everything. You know, if you're in the right. And he was very angry. Very, very angry about it. And this is a police impound lot. And obviously he had his keys because his car was parked someplace. And he saw his car out there in the lot. So he ran out, jumped in his car, and drove off, just as a police officer had brought in another car. So that police officer jumped into his car and chased after him, probably caught him, and so that guy is going to be in big trouble for stealing his own car. All because he was incredibly pissed off. Whereas I was also in the wrong. I mean, I was also in the right, but I didn't care. It was like, you know, a lesson learned for me kind of thing. I know what happened and how that happened and everything like that. So I'm just like, you know, it was like, all right, I'm just not going to let that happen to me again. I got everything taken care of, and it was done, and I was just happy to put it behind me. It wasn't worth, like, making a stink over it. Because, like, I learned a personal lesson. It's always good to learn some things from these sorts of things. And if he was in the right, he could have fought it and gotten a refund and everything like that. Maybe even, like, gotten something back extra for the time he had to spend or something like that. I don't know. You know, depending on his lawyer or the courts. But no, instead he probably spent some time in jail. Dude successfully turned a minor issue into a massive legal problem. Yes. Yeah. There was another time, not similar, but it did also involve someone who had no control over a situation. I was working a late shift. I got off at 4, and I decided, I wasn't going to go to sleep right away. I was going to wait until, like, 6-ish. So I decided to stop by McDonald's on the way home and get some cinnamon bites, because those are delicious. They're like crack. And I get in, and the cashier's like, "Hey, sorry, we just rebooted our computer systems. It's going to take about 5 minutes before I can take your order." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. I'll just wait." And someone else comes in and gets the same thing, and just like storms out, cursing the cashier. And I'm just sitting there waiting for them, waiting patiently. And I look at the guy and I'm like, this is why I don't get pissed off like that. It's like, it's better to just keep your cool, especially when you're dealing with like cashiers and stuff. I mean, I'll get pissed off if they're being rude to me or something like that, but I'm not going to treat them badly for something that's not their fault. Ain't right. Just ain't right. Americans should be required years of service work to understand people. I don't know. I don't know if I want to suffer through that, and I don't know that it would help a lot of the people who get pissed off at service workers. I worked retail for like a couple months once, and that's the extent of my retail work, and never again. Yeah, patience is good, and so there's a reason they say it's a virtue. There is a reason they say it's a virtue. Also, it's just good to respect people. Especially when they're doing a job that you wouldn't want to do. And treat them the way that you'd want to be treated. Alright, let's see. Next up. If my controller would actually play nice. Well, that's why it's important to make the people who are not nice finish last themselves. Even if it's like just in a situation of, hey, you're not nice, therefore I'm not going to give you the time of day. I don't have to waste my time on you, so... Ostracize the crappy people. Okay, there we go. Interesting that there's just this one. I assume this is like the player's entrance. I have not watched much in the way of, like, soccer. But I would think there would be, like, two sides. Yeah, I usually had like that was always considered one of my strong points with my supervisors and stuff. There were definitely situations where it was like, okay, this person is angry, send Jeff. Oops. Send Ald, you know? He'll, at least smooth things over. Hey, Kitty can move you if they want. Encourage Kitty's ambitions. There we go. Alright, 18, and we are getting some more of these. What if Kitty's ambitions are world domination? Encourage Kitty. Encourage Kitty. Kitty, you too can try to take over the world. I mean, not every kitty wants to take over the world. Some just want to be treated as if they already have. Like me. Oh, and Moobot has just reminded me that the Artemis 2 rocket has sent some astronauts around the moon again. So if you want to see the Lego version of the Artemis rocket, we're working on that goal right now. I know I would like to see it. Will the Lego toilet work? Of course. My favorite part was the astronauts saying that they had 2 copies of Outlook open and neither were working. Even in space, you can't escape Microsoft's issues. I kind of wish we had some wider ones of these slopes. You know, they'd have a cutout here, of course. That was an onboard laptop and not the system computer. You were initially worried when you read that. Oh, I cannot imagine that they use Windows on the onboard computer. I suspect that that is custom-built software. I mean, it seems like that to me is very much the kind of thing where you want custom-built software that just does that one thing. Well, but like you can have non-system computers up there. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if like they have Windows running stuff like you know, if they're going to do any scientific experiments, I don't know if they are, but you know, like on the space station, that kind of stuff, that would not surprise me if it's running Windows. Because you need that to be able to talk to ground scientists and get and exchange data and stuff like that. You don't want to brick your moon rocket with a rogue Windows update. And, I mean, it's more even just, like, if you have, like, satellites and all these things, you don't need them to do anything other than what you program them to. Like, that's the big thing. If you want an onboard computer to be able to do a whole bunch of stuff, like especially if it's like a leisure computer, then yeah, you just put Windows on it. Whatever, it's fine. But if it's anything like actual mission critical, no, that should all be custom. So it just does what it's supposed to do, and that's it. Nothing else. Navset doesn't need to run Doom. Exactly. That said, it probably could. Pretty sure the satellites need Clippy popping up and asking if they need help. Well, only Voyager and Voyager 2, Farron, for when they encounter alien life. I see you're trying to determine my satellite's original location so you can go conquer that. Conquer it. Would you like help with that? I know this system. It's a Unix system. Dang it, Lexi. I was originally the boy. Am I making teeth now? No? Give them directions to a black hole. Actually, you know, that would be a hilarious comedy science fiction show premise of, like, we've sent out an intergalactic probe with, you know, like how we had the gold disc and the placard on Voyager. You know, we send out another one in the future, and a century later or something like that, aliens arrive, and they're, like, really scary, and there's, like, all this tension, and then it just turns out that they accidentally installed Windows, and they need our help getting rid of it off their systems, because Clippy keeps annoying them. Oops. And they got to get, like, one old programmer out of the retirement home to solve this problem because no one's used Windows in a long time. They built their whole society's computer systems off of its design. And when NASA's like, "Why did you do this?" And like, "Well, you sent it out. We thought it was superior." Switching rooms and food? Alright, enjoy your food. I mean, you probably wouldn't be able to get Microsoft's permission to include Clippy. But they might allow you to include that dog. Clippy isn't the only thing from Microsoft Bob that survived Microsoft Bob. Oh, better yet, they fed it into their global network AI, and it took over, so everything became like Microsoft Bob. That would be beautiful. I don't know why people don't pay me for these ideas. They should. No one has better terrible sci-fi ideas than me. Well, but that's it. That's basically what happened. Is they installed like loaded Microsoft Bob into their AI, and it took over. And it's not evil or anything. It's just like incredibly annoying. It's like asking, "Do you want help with that?" for every single thing under the sun. I see you're trying to escape from an axe murderer. Would you like help with that? Now you want to watch Ald play Master of Orion or Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri? I mean, that's just Civilization in space. I'm not that good at Civilization. I enjoy it, but I don't play it well. You're out feeding animals and thought of a team-up of Poobie and Boo? I hate how annoying it is to use Poobie's attack. I don't have to save up for that. Right, Master of Orion. It's Alpha Centauri. That's just space Civ 4. Master of Orion is different. I recommend Get Daved. I think he's played that a bunch. It doesn't really look like something I would particularly enjoy doing a Let's Play of. Although maybe he played Master of Orion 2. I don't know. I don't remember. Neither of those are games that I'm terribly familiar with. Grimmeth has played Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri a fair bit. Oops. Need the half pins in here. I actually would have preferred putting these in, like, as we were putting the parts on. I find them easier to get into the pieces when you're just holding the Technic beam. Oh well. Alright, get these on there. But yeah, I mean, like, you'd have to make the aliens seem really scary initially. And then maybe maybe the old programmer has to dive into a VR Matrix kind of thing. I mean, just make it seem like they are aliens that are going to try and murder you. And then they don't. Because they actually just need our help. So the exact nature of the scary doesn't really matter that much. Like a planet of Whoopi Goldbergs? No? She's not scary? I was about to mention Theater Rex, but that's not on her. She tried to get out of that. You can make a sequel movie where the aliens are upset because someone from Earth keeps calling them about their car warranty. Alright, there we go. Pretty nice construction there. I like that. Alright, spare parts. We got 1x1 tiles in dark gray and warm tan. White 1x1 plate. 1x1 cylinder plates in red and warm tan. And a black 1x1 cylinder plate with a bar. Alright, 2 bags, number 19. Can't remember the title or author. Classic 70s science fiction. The aliens look like demons but are kind, which is why they only want to talk to children. There is a D&D, a similar D&D thing to that. There's a creature called a Diabolus. They look like your classic, you know, goat-legged satanic creature, demon, devil, Satan-like thing. They are from what humans call the Plane of Nightmares, but they're actually really good people. It's just everything looks scary there. Because it's a Plane of Nightmares. I'm gonna remember it at 2 in the morning. Oops, not that one. I should include them in my my Spelljammer game. Except Sealand's here, so now I can't. I think Sealand's here? He might not be here yet. All right, I could talk about it. Who's the author of that? The name sounds familiar. I know I haven't read it, but it sounds familiar. Seems like something I might have seen in the library or something. Clark? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've almost certainly seen it, like, as I said, probably in a in the library. And speaking of Clark, now I want to rewatch 2001. Sci-Fi did a miniseries in 15. I don't think that I knew about that. I don't know that I was watching the Sci-Fi channel in 2015. I think I lost interest in the Sci-Fi channel when they basically started trying to, like, they were really popular in the late 90s and early 2000s by just showing any bad movie they got their hands on the weekend. It was like nothing but movies on the weekend. And then they were like, this is getting great ratings. We should actually try to make bad movies. And they sucked. Wrestling killed Sci... Oh, didn't... Yeah, they got, like, A spin-off of WWE or something? Yeah. I think that was after I'd already stopped really watching the Sci-Fi Channel, though. Oh yeah, it definitely was for me. I was really super pissed off in, I think it was 1995, when they had their anime week, and my cable was on the fritz. So pissed off. But yeah, I mean, Project A-ko, Lily Cat, trying to recall what else they had on. Yeah, those are the two big ones that I remember. I haven't seen Lily Cat in forever. Maybe it was 96. I don't know, it was one of those. It was definitely not the first one, though. Well, that's well after that. I'm pretty sure I had those on DVD before those aired on any television. There was a period of time when I consumed most of the American anime that came out. I have not seen Battle of the Planets, although I did notice that Criterion did just add the Gatchaman movie to their lineup. So I will have to watch that, because I have never actually watched that before. They also have Gunbuster, which I haven't watched. I need to watch that. You need to see Legend of the Galactic Heroes. There was a company interested in licensing that. I believe it's licensed now. I don't know for sure. I haven't paid that much attention. But I believe when it was still ongoing, there was a company in the U.S. Interested in licensing it. So they went to the Japanese company, and the Japanese company was like, okay, we're willing to license it, but you must release it the exact same way that we're releasing it here in Japan. One episode per disc or DVD. I mean, disc or tape. And the company was like, all right, goodbye. Just like, nope. You're honestly surprised how good the anime RPGs on the SNES are? I think a big part of it is because they weren't treated the same way that licensed stuff is in the US. Like, licensed stuff in the US tended to just get, like, literally farmed out. And they'd be farmed out to multiple people. That's why you get, like, a completely different Terminator game on and I'm just using this as a hypothetical, I don't know if this was the case, but, like, a completely different Terminator game on the SNES versus the Genesis and stuff. Howdy, Kinshir, how's it going? Now, I will say, one of the better licensed games, I think, is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Like, that is a solid RPG, and again, the fact that they made an RPG out of it is also kind of impressive. Shadowrun was a good example of that. SNES. You're dead, Armitage, Sega. Why is my home state flipped? That isn't like a... I mean, that is a license, but it's not quite what I was thinking of. I don't know if the license situation is the same. It's very noticeable with movie properties. I suppose one day I should play the Genesis Sega, the Genesis Shadowrun game. You'd like to figure out how to mod the sprites in Robin Hood Prince of Thieves? Shouldn't be too difficult. There was an emulator that actually allowed you to do that directly. You watched Kiko's stream of the Sega Shadowrun game. You were wondering the whole time why Puyallup which is right over there, is north of Seattle. But I think editing sprites is one of the easier things to do. Yeah, years ago I changed the sprites in Final Fantasy 1. Just the characters for, you know, to represent a sword and armor and stuff like that to match Final Fantasy 4. Because I like those better. They look better. Alright, flip it around. I mean, don't worry, Lord Canis. One day I will probably play Fallout 3, and then I can join you in complaining about getting my local area wrong. You'd be changing Kevin Costner to Brian Bedford. I don't know who Brian Bedford is. I'd be angry that where my house isn't a radioactive crater full of Lego abominations. (1973) Robin Hood. I don't know a 1973 Robin Hood. You mean the Disney Robin Hood? Sorry, I was thinking live action, if that's what you meant. Ah, okay. Makes sense. I was gonna be like, I'm not like the portraits in the game aren't exactly that high fidelity, but no, that's a much easier change than changing it into like a person, another person, like another actor or something. Nah, that's fine. I mean, I just like really appreciate how accurate the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves game was to the movie, especially with the lizard creatures in the healing spring and the giant skeleton. Exactly like the movie. All right, bag number 20. Think All just hasn't watched the movie in a long time if he forgot the skeleton fight? I just said that it's completely accurate to the movie. Like, those parts especially. You may have to revisit that LP. It's very, very accurate. Like, it's kind of amazing just how accurate it is. Like, has there ever been a more accurate video game, movie video game? I don't think so. Also, can't forget the exploding wolves. Just like the movie. No, I said wolves, not shark. Or were you saying Jaws was an accurate game? I get one word. I don't always know what what you guys are referring to. Yeah, very accurate. Oh, I'm making 2 of these. All right. Back to the Future was extremely faithful to the source. No, actually, I've just remembered which is the most accurate. And it's E.T. for the Atari. That is the most accurate. Very, very accurate. You liked that game? Well, apparently Atari thought that the world was full of you, so... Just couldn't do more than 3 loops of it before it got impossible. It's probably intentional. Alright, and then... that right there. There were 2 ET games? I have no idea. Only one that I know of is the Atari one that got landfilled because they made more than there were copies of the console. I mean, there might have been one later. I don't know. I've never played an an ET game in my life. Amazing that someone actually found those. Oh yeah, in the landfill. I'm actually not that surprised. You could probably track down, like, they're pretty methodical about filling landfills and stuff like that, so you could probably track down pretty easily to within a 2-week time period when stuff went in, you know, where stuff went in a landfill, so... Ooh, buttered scones for tea. We're both lumberjacks, and we're okay. Oh, now you're just trying to burn me, Bahamut. Jeez, so mean. I see what it is. You're trying to get back at me for murdering you in Final Fantasy X. I see how it is. They were probably not the ET game, like the ET game from Atari. Unless they were in an Atari collection. Sacrificing him to Yojimbo like that? You know, sometimes things have to be done. Well, like there, Texas Instruments calculators was like that was a thing of like programming all kinds of games on Texas Instruments calculators. I knew a bunch of kids who did that back in the day. Your sacrifice is a cost I'm willing to accept. Yeah, exactly. Still hurt, by the way. Yojimbo wasn't the nicest fight. I mean, you got healed. Don't worry. And you did murder me a few times as Dark Bahamut. So I think you got your revenge. That was your cousin, wasn't you? I don't think so. Yeah, Texas Instruments were programmable graphing calculators. They were really awesome. My sister and I both had one. Mine got stolen. Sad that Suikoden was always on the back foot technologically to Final Fantasy. Suikoden 2 had sprites. A few months later, 3D FF7 came out. Suikoden 3 came out, and 3D FF10 had voice acting. I don't know. I mean, like, Suikoden 3 looks way better than any of the PlayStation 1 3D Final Fantasies, for example. And sprites are great. I'm not sure if he wants to be known as the cutest kobold ever. Wow. Hold on. I decided to go flying. There we go. Decided to go flying onto the floor. Yeah, I mean that's fair. Like there is an element of like hindsight that I kick myself for not having gotten Suikoden 2 when it came out, or even 1 for that matter. Because I would have really enjoyed them both when they came out. But I wasn't really aware of them. But then 3 came out, and I got that, and that's a fantastic game. Ridley looks much better than his kid. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get all the games, but I definitely have gotten games that, like, in hindsight, were like, I didn't need to get this. Four is fine. Suikoden 4 is fine. Is it great? No, but it's fine. I mean, 4 has Ted again. Think you'll appreciate it more with frame skip on the ocean? I mean, that's fair. But does Suikoden 4 have Blitzball? No, thank God. Still like the scale of Suikoden. Save the kingdom rather than save the world and kill God. I mean, it's important to kill God, but, you know, yeah, sometimes you want a more local story. Oh, someone shared cute kitty photos on Discord? I mean, people are always sharing cute kitty photos on Discord. That's what the petting zoo is for. I'm glad people are enjoying that. Well, that didn't work out. You asked on Reddit if Blitzball would be a great standalone game, and the result was mixed. Yeah, well, I mean, like, Blitzball is very much a you love it or you hate it game, minigame. And that's okay. I think its major flaw is just that it's required to make Waka not suck. No melting, too difficult to get out of the carbon. Saw a playthrough and it looked like it dragged on. What? A playthrough of what? Blitzball? I mean, except he's like the second best character if you get all of his reels and can use them. Well, sure, but, like, I'm talking about mechanics. Mechanically, Titus is the best, and Waka is the second best. And then everyone else is just kind of, like, kind of equal generally. I mean, Auron is solid, is very solid because his celestial weapon is the easiest to get. Okay, these are actually the last bags. I do have a small build to do. I was not expecting this to... What, you didn't like the tree Gilded Tongue? X-Death was a tree. See, there you go. I would definitely have liked Iden if they had done more to differentiate itself from Suikoden. Because it just ends up feeling like there's too much comparison going on. Rather than it standing on its own. No, Iden had a Necklord. Iden definitely had a Necklord. You always thought that was a stupid thing in FF5? No, I actually like that. Personally. But, I mean, also, to each his own. There's nothing wrong with not liking it. I mean, my players encountered treants who got corrupted by evil. I always liked in the Suikoden games figuring out how to absolutely brutalize the enemies with damage, the final bosses. Like using Emily. Everything's better with massive damage. Generally got to the fire crystal in FF5 and stopped? Any reason? Stopping final bosses is tradition? Well, I mean, there is stomping them, and then there's whatever Final Fantasy X does, which I think is actually bad. The way it's done in Final Fantasy X, I think, is actually genuinely bad. I think you just got distracted by class leveling. I always took Ultimecia as having an accent, not a speech impediment. Did you have break damage limit weapons, Bahamut? No. Alright. See, that's what I have a problem with. I think they should do something to prevent you from having break damage limit weapons, or like dramatically decrease your stats if you're overstated. No, you definitely don't need them. If you've maxed out your grid, you're just gonna attack so fast that the final boss really does not even have a chance to do anything anyway. But if you do have them, then it's just 2 hits. I think that's one reason why Unileska is actually a difficult fight for a lot of people. Because you face her before you get damage break limit weapons, and before you are likely to have done too much over-leveling. It is very anticlimactic. And you should probably either be de-leveled for the fight, or the game should have two different final bosses, depending on whether you've gotten break damage limit stuff or not. Oh, are you talking about the final boss, or are you talking about Jekt? I'm talking about Jekt. Like, after Jekt, you can't actually lose those, so it doesn't matter. They're not true fights. Okay, I was talking about Jekt. Everything after that is unlosable, so it doesn't matter. Like, you could be doing 1 point of damage and you're not going to lose. Like, 1 point of damage with every hit, and you're not going to lose, so... Because you have permanent auto life on. Yeah, unfortunately, if you have break damage limit, it's 2 hits and he's down. And if you've also been doing a lot of sphere gridding, very likely, you were very likely to be much, much faster than him. So he will not even have a chance to do anything. There's a house in my neighborhood with windows like that. Oops, that fell off. There we go. So someone try to make Final Fantasy X harder by rolling dice for his sphere gridding. Final Fantasy X is not terribly difficult before that. It can be, like, there can be parts that can be kind of tough, depending on how you built your characters, kind of thing. But generally not that tough. There's oftentimes, like, if you're just doing normal leveling, unless you're trying to, like, run from everything and do a low-level run, especially because you can swap people out all the time, it's not too difficult to deal with most of the normal bosses and everything in the game. They can definitely have some trouble with some of them, but the biggest challenge that people do is the no sphere grid challenges, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen any of those, and I have zero interest in it either, but, it's very much, like, the game is not that difficult on its own. And even randomly, like, even randomly doing the sphere gridding, unless you are intentionally under-leveling yourself, you're probably not going to have too many issues with the game. Ald never wants you to have fun watching me torture him myself. I have zero interest in suffering. I want to have fun. If I'm not having fun, then what is the point? By 4 tile. I think there's only 3 monsters in the FF10 no sphere grid runs that can't be beaten. Yeah, I think Penance is 1. The underwater guy, I can't remember his name, at the Colosseum, the underwater dragon. And what is the other one? Yeah, the other one's in the arena. I think it's the last enemy that you get. No, it's not the last one. It's the second to last enemy that you get. Because it's impossible to get to the last enemy in the no sphere grid run because of the difficulty in dealing with the earlier ones. Like, you basically have to hack the game kind of thing to get that one to appear, which is defeatable. There we go. And that goes on here. Alright, stickers would go on here, but who cares? Interesting, but not your cup of tea? Yeah, no, not mine either. Sneeze. Yeah, I have zero interest in ever doing a one of those types of challenge runs. Or speed runs or anything like that. Not my thing. I'm here to have fun playing games, not suffer. This clip is a little bit further down than this one, so... See, Nuzlocke I can kind of understand, because it's you know, it's just a case of I will, you know, just not use, like, I'm not going to bring this Pokemon back to life, or I will use a different Pokemon if it dies. Once you get some pretty solid Pokemon, especially if you grind them up, it's like not as much of a challenge anymore. 1 class per character run for FF12? No. Did you miss me saying how I have 0 interest in doing challenges? Closest I get to that kind of thing is not like grinding in Dragon Quest. I mean, I've definitely had a bunch of people say that they couldn't do certain boss fights that I did until they were much higher level than I was. So, yeah. I guess it's a kind of challenge run. Okay, there we go. So a lower ceiling on this section. Dragon Quest games are not that, like, they're not generally easy games. I mean, like, they're very much the type of game that you should be at certain levels for certain things to be able to have a, you know, confidence in succeeding kind of thing. So we get a little team bus there. It isn't a challenge, though. It's just a choice you can make. I mean, you miss out on abilities and stuff. I'm not doing that. I have no interest in that. I have 0 interest in hamstringing myself for a game. Like, I just don't. That is not fun to me. So a little set of statues here. Spare parts, a black roller skate, and a white 1x1 plate. Let's go ahead and get the other parts of the stadium down. There we go. I don't think I complained about optimizing. Are you talking about the Final Fantasy X thing? So these do not, like, you definitely need to put these together and then leave them together. They do slide apart, which is fine. But it does mean that you can't just, like, move it all together like this. You do need to separate it to move it. Even if it's just, like, moving it a little bit on a shelf, because it's likely to come apart. Very red and white. But I do like the cable stays and stuff there. I think they're pretty cool. The field looks good against the seat as contrasts to the seat. Seems like a barely structurally sound Lego. No, it's very structurally sound. It's just like designed to separate for ease of movement. Once it's together, it's fine. Like, doesn't really move. Not a whole lot of stuff that would get knocked off either. Howdy, Shield of Hope. How's it going? It's definitely better than the previous. Was it the Madrid stadium that we did a few years back? Partly because, like, there aren't like that one. This has nice straight sections and then angled sections, which really works well for it. The other one was oval shaped, and Lego is not great at ovals. Need some work to do a good oval. Maybe it was. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah. Barcelona. The other one I have to build is Madrid. They did those, and then they didn't do any others. I got these on sale, and I think because they didn't sell that. They may have sold really well initially, and then, like, after the initial sales went, then they weren't super popular. I don't know. They do have a bunch of World Cup sets coming out soon. Not like stadiums, but like player-specific stuff, which is kind of weird to me, but I don't know. I'm not a soccer fan, so. Oh, well. All right, but I do have something to build to fill out the rest of the stream time. Let me go ahead and separate these parts. Well, you don't want a messy minifig? No, I don't. I like them clean. Howdy, Sealan. How's it going? Now that you're here, I'll have to stop talking about the game, the Spelljammer game. I think this part's my favorite. I think I would have put a, I wonder if I have a pair of 1x1 tiles. I do. Like, this is probably accurate, like, it's all, just a big window section, but I'm gonna do this so that it is smooth. That looks better to me. Do you need to go rewind a bit? No, I wasn't really talking about it. I made a semi-joke, and then I was like, oh, wait, you might be here. Scrolled back and saw that you weren't, and I was like, oh, good, I can talk about it. I do like this little part here and this part. I think that works pretty well for fitting in with the seats. Not really sure what these are up here. Oh well. Alright. Let's go ahead and put that to the side. And to finish up the evening, we have a flatbed truck with helicopter. They might be press boxes. I don't know. Actually, you know what? This might say before we, because I ignored all the text, because I don't care about soccer. Let's see, before we started this section. Nope. Nothing there. Oh well. I do find it interesting that the stadiums that they did, an English stadium and 2 Spanish stadiums, and they haven't done anything else. I find that interesting. Anyway. Ah, not numbered at all. Nope. Get back here. Tire tried to escape. Maybe it was tired of my puns. Please laugh. So the truck part of this set is based on the an old model team semi, the Black Cat Big Rig. Which is a very good set. Very cool set. It's the largest model team set they made. And at the time it came out, I think the largest LEGO set made. Far surpassed now. That one reached a 93.6 on the groan scale. Gotta try harder to hit that 100. If I'm not hitting 100, then what is even the point, right? Right? There we go. So the original set, the Black Cat Big Rig, did not have a trailer or helicopter. There was a previous model team set that had a trailer and helicopter. I do have those. They're very good as well. Alt should retire his bad puns before they wheel around again? Never. Puns are like fine wine. They're better with age. And they're better shared. My puns, at least. None of yours, though. Only mine. My puns have the Ald seal of approval. True quality. True craftsmanship. Stop trying to let the air out of my puns, Lel Bunny. I can't believe you guys. One day you won't have my puns anymore, and you will be sad and regretful. And you'll be like, I miss Alt's puns. I'll never tire of them ever again. You miss Big Mac's puns? Well, good news, you can probably get one tomorrow. The vehicles are 4 studs wide. Yes, but this isn't actually a minifig scale vehicle, so it doesn't quite work. Most vehicles now are 6 studs wide. I think some might even be 8. Some of the speed champions. I'll be honest, though, I do miss the 4 stud wide vehicles. There was one in the grocery store set that we built, probably a year ago. That used the classic 4x7 car base plate. Only downside to the 4 stud wide thing, can't sit 2 minifigs side by side. No, yeah, that's true. But how often do you care? But that is something that they tend to do with the 6 wide. They have an interesting new piece. I think we got one, but I don't have it nearby. It is it's a 2x6 with center studs here and little panels sticking up on at the sides, so that when you close doors, they will close flush rather than like go in a little bit. They're pretty good pieces. They're pretty neat. I mean, even if you have the width to get 2 minifigs side by side, one of them has to have an arm up and the other has to have an arm down. So, or have them both up real high. The first sets that did that had minifigs that could sit side by side were the Adventurers line, because they had the special car seat piece. Pretty useful piece, and I have a lot of them. I have a lot of that piece. I may have gotten a fair number of Adventurers sets back in the day. All right, 2 clear 2x2s. What was good for me, not so good for LEGO. Lego came close to collapse at that time, which is why there were so many discounted sets. There were also just more toy stores around at the time. That helped. What's my opinion of the new Smart Brick? I don't have a strong opinion. It seems both over-engineered and under-engineered. The reviews of what it tries to do for the Star Wars sets seem very... wouldn't say negative so much as it doesn't seem to work that well. And it's also very expensive, which is not something that I care for. It's I don't know. Like the one of the reviews that I saw, like well, actually it wasn't even a review, it was more like a discussion of the display by Lego themselves. Like Lego employees were showing it off, and they didn't seem to be able to get it to work the way it was supposed to very well. And that seems like not a great sign. You know, if the people who designed it aren't able to do that, then, I mean, I don't know, like, necessarily the people who designed it, but the people of the company can't get it to work properly, then how are kids going to? You rewound your Minecraft update because you wanted to play and don't want to deal with the April 1st update? Is the April 1st update still ongoing? I mean, I have no idea how well it went over, per se. Like, the sets are out now. I don't know how kids are reacting to them. Oops. That's not what I want there. Yeah, so I don't know how kids are reacting to them, but the report was measured in that, like, it didn't say, like, you know, straight up, this sucks, this is garbage, or anything like that. But it was, like, pointing out that it seems like not a great sign that it is... that the LEGO employees are having a hard time getting it to work the way that they want it to. So, I don't know. I haven't gotten any of the predecessor stuff, which is the Mario... the Mario things. So I have no idea how it stacks up there. I have no interest in any of that. It's very much like not designed for me. It's not aimed for me, and it's not. You know, I'm not willing to spend that extra money for that. In part because of that. And the sets are not cheap. Like, they have a really bad price per piece ratio for obvious reasons. Yes, probably. I haven't seen the ads, so I don't know if it is the same thing, but it's a 2x4. It's basically an electronic 2x4 brick. I'm also, like, again, keep in mind also that I'm kind of reticent to denigrate something that is clearly not aimed at me, that I am not the market for, and have no idea how the people in the appropriate market feel about it, kind of thing. Nothing about it makes me interested, that's for sure. There might be interesting uses for it. I believe that there are going to be smart brick sets later this year that are not that are not Star Wars, that are like generic, and maybe some of those will be of interest to me. But like, for one thing, I'm not a big Star Wars person, and I would rather have good-looking, like, a model that is intended to look like the thing it's supposed to represent, as opposed to making the sacrifices to fit those smart brick pieces in and stuff like that. Oops. It's a new electronic brick that LEGO has released that they're experimenting with. You can go on to lego.com to get like a better synopsis of it. All right, now for the wheels. I mean, I think it's an interesting concept. No, it's not a Cybertruck in a Lego brick. No. It's an electronic brick with lights. It has a sensor to pick up when certain things are near, and thus do, you know, programmed sounds or stuff like that. Like, the idea behind it being the Star Wars ones is that you have the brick in the X-Wing, and it'll make the sounds of the X-Wing firing, or the X-Wing flying, or the TIE Fighter flying if it's on a TIE Fighter, that kind of thing. So here's the cab. I think the concept is fine. I don't know about the implementation. I probably would have been interested in them as a kid. Yeah, it has a gyro sensor, like basically in the Cantina set. You basically have something move back and forth, and that is supposed to play the Cantina music. And that's neat. I don't know how much replay value it has, but I'm not a kid. But I mean, the concept itself is fine. Personally, like, the thing that I want in terms of electric or electronic Lego is lighting kits. And Lego was considering lighting kits a while back and decided not to. There are third-party stuff. But I would like, and not necessarily like, here's a, a set to light up. Like, I think, actually, there was a mock-up of this set. Hold on. There was a mock-up of a lighting kit for this set that LEGO was considering producing. I think it was this one. It might have been one of the other cars. And that's neat, but I would rather have a return to dedicated light bricks, especially if you can plug them into the wall. Like, one of the things that I don't like about the current Lego trains is that they're all battery operated, and I'd rather have house power rather than battery power run these things. How's it powered? So it it has a charging station, which kind of looks like a short iPad, like this long, that has a depression in it, and you just put the brick in there, and it'll charge up. So that's one of the reasons why there's expense with the sets as well, because each of the sets comes with the brick and the charger. Probably using either a lithium ferroxide battery or a supercap then? Yeah, I have no idea, one way or the other. Could probably look at one of the boxes. The boxes, like, when Lego includes these pieces, these light bricks, there's all kinds of warnings about the battery. So I'm sure that they'll have the appropriate warnings on those. And you could probably look at that. It's an innovation. We'll see how successful it is. Yes, and I hope that if it's not successful, Lego doesn't abandon the idea entirely. They just go back to the drawing board and work on something better. Luckily, as a not Star Wars person, I don't have to worry about them putting out exclusive minifigs in the Smart Brick sets. Like, I know that is one of the complaints in the Star Wars Lego community, because they like getting their exclusive figs and their unique figs and everything like that. Having to pay that much for an exclusive figure that they want is going to piss them off. Because they also didn't like when, like, the junior the 4+ kid sets had that kind of thing either, so. Built-in non-removable rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Features a 3.7 volt, 45, I don't know what that means, capacity, drawing roughly 40 to 45 minutes of active heavy play time before needing to be recharged on a specialized wireless charging pad. Key details about, yeah. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I can kind of not blame them, but at the same time, I also don't care. Milliamp hours, got it. I mean, like, what's programmed in the bricks, I don't know how customizable that is. I kind of think it's not. But I think that when they come out with generic ones, they're definitely not going to have, like, Star Wars sounds in them. I will be much more interested in seeing what they have for the generic ones whenever those come out. Capable of delivering 45 milliamps for 1 hour continuously on a full charge. Got it. That is not great for display. Which is one of the other things that some LEGO fans would be interested in. displaying at LEGO conventions and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure there will be a way. It might be the lights that they have, I don't know. But I'm sure that there will be a way. But I still think that the best that LEGO has ever done in terms of electric stuff, and that is electronic as opposed to electric. I mean, the best electronic stuff they've ever done was Mindstorms. The original Mindstorms. But I think 9-volt and 12-volt were the best overall. Technically, Mindstorms was 9-volt. And I think they didn't. I think they stopped that because of risk of shock, but I never experienced anything like that. I mean, they had light and sound bricks years ago. If I ever dig them out, I'll pull them out. They had 2 different sounds. They used them for, like, sirens. You can see them having a good integration with the Technic Mindstorm sets. You don't know how they will catch on for most themed sets. Yeah, the ones with the metal contacts. You'd get like a 2x2 plate. I don't have any 2x2 plates. With the wire coming out. And the studs have metal on them. And the reason why I think those are the best is because they are plates, they're so easy to integrate into a build. Yeah, Mindstorms has been discontinued. I do have a Mindstorms brick that I've never actually used. And that could be plugged in. I also have 9-volt LEGO train transformers. And that can supply just standard 9-volt power to anything. So if you wanted to like light up a whole town kind of thing, and you had enough of the lighting bricks and everything like that, you could do that. Like, something that could easily be integrated into builds is kind of what would be really nice to get. I don't know that we are going to anytime soon, though. You had some of those as a kid? Futron Monorail had one? Yeah. Yeah, that was the start of the 9-volt. They had those boxes for the various light and sound sets as well. Fortunately, a lot of mine had I left the batteries in and they leaked, which really sucks. Really, really shitty. I need to see what I can do about cleaning the corrosion off them at some point. But there were also larger. There was a larger battery box that took 9 AA's, I think. Or 6. 6. I think it's 6. That was also useful, but then, of course, the transformers also would, you get 9-volt power output from that. And it was great, because you could just, you know, integrate all that into a build. Can give you a small tingle on the tongue if you touch the contacts. So I never got any shock or tingle or anything off of the leads, the plates. But my guess is that is why they discontinued the 9-volt. That system of the plates. The ones that they have now have almost like Cat 5 cable connections. Obviously not actual Cat 5, but it's that kind of connection. We had that when we built the lighthouse. And I don't like that as much because it's more space intensive, I feel like. Also, you can't daisy chain it. Like, that was the other nice thing about the 9-volt stuff is you basically, it's like you have the line come in here, line come into this, boom, and now you got, you know, going all the way along there. White vinegar as a cleaning solution. I will try to keep that in mind whenever I get those out. And try to clean them again. Like the old 4.5 and 12-volt ones also could be daisy chained, but they required you to... Hold on, I actually can show this off. So these are the 12-volt leads. And they did this to make them different from the 4.5-volt, but you could basically do this to daisy chain. So like you could have a light here. This comes to the power, and this goes to another light. And you can't do anything like this with the current stuff, which is a real shame, I think. I mean, I don't know how good that is for, you know, for the electrical components and stuff like that. I mean, it's 9-volt. Like, this is not a whole lot of current, charge, whatever, voltage. But you just can't, like there's no daisy chaining these days. Which is a real shame, I think. Because that's what allows you to get big lighting setups without, like, too much effort, too much work kind of thing. Yay, birthday cake! Happy birthday again. Hope it was a good one. But I always had dreams of, like, lighting up a Lego city and stuff like that. And, I think you basically have to do custom lighting stuff these days if you want to do something like that. And that's no fun. Oops. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, like, LEDs, especially of that, you know, those small varieties are pretty handy. I know some people who've done setups where they've built up, like, an intersection, like, raised a few bricks, and then buried the lines to make stoplights. And that's pretty cool. That's definitely not something that you could have ever done with the Lego light bricks. But it would be nice to just have, like, actual lighting bricks, you know? Rather than have to put it all together yourself. Like, I mean, there are independent light sets that you can get for various sets. They are specifically designed to work with specific sets. I'm just kind of surprised that LEGO decided not to do that themselves. Especially with the Star Wars stuff. I feel like that would have gone over really well with the adult collectors. But what do I know? I mean, there's definitely, you know, a reason why they didn't do it, so... Wow, that does not spin freely. Whereas that does. Look at that go. So this is interesting because this makes a solid ring here. The old one just had these as 4 separate prongs, and I think that allowed it to spin more freely. Think you've had the same problem with one of your old LEGO sets? What, something not spinning freely? That's going to be something else. I think this is unique to the redesign of the helicopter piece. Whereas this still spins just fine. Okay. Oops. So here we have the trailer with the helicopter on it. I would actually like to get something similar, but have it the actual helicopter that they and truck that they had. I think that'd be pretty neat. But it's still very cool. I mean, I really like that they made this one look like the Black Cat Big Rig. I really appreciate that. It's very cool. And the helicopter is actually really cute. There were a couple helicopters about this size. You know, they were 3 wide as well, I believe. I know of a hospital helicopter, an ambulance medevac helicopter that my sister had, but of course now it's mine. Very similar size, but not as detailed and neat as this one. Oops. That wasn't intended. Whoopsie. We're going to cause the helicopter to crash now. Let's just put it there. Hope they don't notice. But it is very, very cute. It's very, very adorable. The other 2 builds, a fuel truck and a small prop plane. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, Bahamut. It won't make it crash. No. It's fine. It'll just be a little wobbly. Yeah. And the other is a pair of race cars, one of which is kind of a hot rod, like an old-timey hot rod type car. Quite a few spare parts. We've got 1x1 plates in black, white, and gray, light gray. 1x1 tile slopes in red, medium azure, and black. Oh, and a clear 1x1 plate. 1x1 tiles in light gray, black, and trans red. 1x1 quarter cylinder tile in red. A 1x1 dome light in a trans orange. 1x1 cylinder plates in clear and light gray. Dark gray friction half pin. Angle connector with stud. 1x1 cylinder plate in gray with bar. And a gray pneumatic T. No, it'll be fine. Don't question it. Don't question it. Okay, so that is the flatbed truck with helicopter 3-in-1 creator set. It's a good one. It's a good one. I'm not sure if it's still available, but it's not too big. I think it was about $20. It's not minifig scale, but it looks really nice. It's a fun build. It's got good pieces. Too many wheels, though, but, you know, that's normal. I really like the look of the helicopter. And I have wanted to get a large number of clear 1x2 slopes since I was a kid, so it's always nice to get more of those. Also, I've wanted to get more clear 2x2s. Questioning it if I continue to question video game logic. We're not in a video game. This is real life. Video game Janai. All right. Before we wrap things up, let's go ahead and get some minifigs. Last week, not last week, on Wednesday, we finished up, what was it, Series 10? No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. No, not Series 10. 13, I think. Yes. Series 13. We still have 10. This time, we have a Series 7. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the sheet. So we've got a gold medal swimmer, got an Aztec warrior, got an Easter bunny, perfect for the time. We got a beautiful bride with a classic flower. We've got Triton. We've got a bagpiper. That's always good. We've got a stunt motorcyclist, Evel Knievel type guy. We've got a space bounty hunter. We've got a nerd. We got a hippie. also with a classic flower. We got Tarzan. We have a Racketeer, a Viking warrior lady, a Boar Knight, a punk rocker, and everyone's favorite Little Red Riding Hood. So we have opened some of these before. That's why there are checks on some of these. Helicopter won't crash. It would have to get off the ground to do that. And without the complete rotor, that wouldn't happen. It was up in the air when I tried to spin it, though. But it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Nothing bad will happen. Don't worry. Would I lie? Obviously, I would not lie. All right. Whoops. I need to zoom back out. Sorry about that. There we go. That's a 2. So we're going over here. And that is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 for Series 7. Helicopter Dragon Collision will be making the LEGO City news tonight? No. Nothing bad happened. It's fine. I don't know why you guys think that something bad has happened. It's very weird. Alright, let's start a prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. I will go ahead and get my timer up. There we go. And let me go ahead and roll my D20. 2, Aztec Warrior. It's not a Puma Man, though. Okay, so not a Rogue AI and Bahamut going for 12. The Nerd. 14 for Sealan. That would be the Boar Knight. First guess is a Minotaur designer of annoying system mascot assistants. I don't know. You say that like Clippy's annoying. I don't think Clippy's annoying. Clippy's wonderful. Everyone loves Clippy. I'm definitely not being forced to say this. Alright, 50 seconds remaining. Get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? A Leonin Meerfolk Gladiator. Is that a like a meerkat? Like meerkat people? Humanoid meerkats? Alright, 30 seconds remaining. Get your predictions in. Looks like I'm shilling for a corporation? No, never. I'm just very, very impressed by Clippy. Clippy's amazing. Everyone should love Clippy. Worship him. Alright, get your predictions in. Just a few seconds remaining. And predictions are closed. And go. Alright, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? A head. Parts that won't move. That feels like legs. Okay, I've got some hair. Okay. 29.26. I think we have a Tarzan and the chimpanzee. Let's see. See if that is correct. Yes, it is. I felt the hair. I felt the little hair coming out there. That's how I knew. All right, let's choose the outcome. Where's my mouse cursor? There it is. All right, 20 to 50. Complete that prediction. Who is getting the hams? Lord Canis getting all the hams. Very nice. Kinshir and Red Hyena going for within 20 seconds. Shield of Hope going for 50 to 60. And Bahamut and Lel Bunny going for no. It is Tarzan, yeah. He is Lord of the Jungle. Go ahead and give him his knife. Gives us an extra knife. And he has a little chimpanzee companion. Howdy, Red Hyena. How's it going? Thank you, Red Hyena. I appreciate you for having faith in me. Unlike other people, Lel Bunny, Bahamut. So here we've got Tarzan with his little chimpanzee friend. Something has clawed his torso a little bit. Alright, so let's go ahead and check that off. There we go. Okay. Next up, we have Series 10. Once again, always a chance for Mr. Gold. There's no chance for Mr. Gold. All right, 4. So we're going to the middle. 16. I'm not sure that there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Nope. All right. 7. Once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, let's start a prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. So, Sealan with a 6. That would be the Skydiver. We have not gotten a Skydiver yet. 8 for me. That would be the Old Man. 1 for Bahamut. That would be the Librarian. Go ahead and put that box away. A Minotaur Lucky Better. There's always a chance. I'll believe. You gotta believe. Believe in me that believes in you. I don't know. A Leonin Tarzan. A Leonin Tarzan? I don't know that you could be a Leonin Tarzan. Werewolf Health Inspector. 5 for Nadaroge AI. That would be the Mohawk Warrior. Possibly the last of the Mohicans. But not actually. All right, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Let me go ahead and reset my timer. Get your predictions in. And what will it be? We have gotten a Medusa, which is the best minifig in this set. Give Tarzan a guitar and he becomes one of the best comedy songs of all time. What, Tarzan Boy? No, Daniel Day-Lewis was not the last of the Mohicans because he wasn't actually a Mohican. It was his adopted father. Guitarzan? All right, predictions are closed, so we can stop thinking about that. And go. This feels like a ponytail or something. Is that what I think it is? No. I don't think so. Hold on. All right. 32.55. I believe we have the motorcycle repairman. Not bicycle repairman. Motorcycle repairman. The grease monkey. Yes, we do. All right. The classic pirate scarf was throwing me off. I was thinking this was a ponytail. And the only one that I knew with the ponytail was that one, and I was like, it doesn't feel like the that hair, though. And then I was like, oh yeah, that one. All right, so that is a 32.55. That is 20 to 50 seconds, so complete that prediction. Who's getting the hams? Lord Canis, Kinshir, and Roger C4 Wilco getting all the hams. Very nice. Bahamut and Red Hyena going for within 20 seconds. Shield of Hope going for 50 to 60. And Lel Bunny going for no. Kind of disappointed that they're not making this headscarf thing anymore. I definitely need to get this this guy on a bike at some point. He's got his shades, he's got his mustache. A skull and cross wrenches. That wrench has been around for a long time. Yes, this is from the early 80s. It is from the early 80s. It does its job. It does its job. It is a great piece. They still have the hammer as well. He's got a tattoo on his arm. He's got a skull belt buckle. A greasy handkerchief in his pocket, which is really bad. He should probably not have that in his pocket, lest it catch fire. Also, the original brick separator. Yes, it is actually useful for that. The sharp end. Now they have they actually provide you with the crowbar piece in some sets for that very same reason. It's useful for getting tiles off. Okay. So now that that is done, it is time for Series 28. I have put in an order for Series 29 already, so we will be getting that one of these days. Looking forward to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. All right, 2. So we're going there. And 2. All right, let's start our prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig box? Get my die out. Let's see. Bahamut gets a 9. That would be the dolphin. 7 for Sealan. That would be the Dalmatian. 2 for Notoroge AI. That would be the adorable kitten. A Minotaur Cactus Cultivator and a Werewolf Doordasher. I don't know that I'd want a Werewolf Doordasher. He's gonna come to my door and rip me apart. Okay, let me go ahead and get my scanner up and ready. Okay, scanner is ready. A Leonin Templar. Shame I didn't get the bunny costume. That's true. That's true. There's another chance. There's another chance. We are working on 2 sets with 2 different bunny costumes. And I do have the bunny costume somewhere around for the year of the rabbit. All right, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig box? So we have gotten the cat, the monkey. We're done with the koala. We've gotten all the koalas. Crocodile. And lion. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once we get 6, we are moving to the bottom register. So get your predictions in. Just keep the bunnies separated so you don't end up with too many bunnies. There's no such thing, not a rogue AI. There is no such thing as too many bunnies. Bunnies are wonderful and adorable. Okay, predictions are closed. Let's go ahead and shake it. Alright, I'm definitely hearing some small parts. Alright, small part-wise, I think we're looking at the frog or the peacock. I'm going to say it is the frog. Let's go ahead and roll the die. See what we get. 12. That would be the parrot. Ready to get addicted to crackers. Those aren't bunnies, those are hares. There's a big difference. Alright, 19.2. It's probably too light to be the parrot. Could be the peacock. Could not be the frog. I'm gonna say that that is the peacock. Because there's nothing that's 19. But the closest to 19 is 18.88 for the peacock. Correct? Yes. All right, I'm going to say it's a peacock. That would get us our 6th. Let's see. That is the peacock costume. All right. I had it narrowed down to 2, and I chose the wrong one, but I was close. That is indeed the peacock. Let's go ahead and choose the outcome. So that is a no. Complete that prediction. No, wait. Actually, that is the that is not no. That's yes with wait. Sorry, my bad. I didn't complete it yet. Complete that prediction. All right. So Lord Canis getting all the hams there. Very nice. Bahamut and Red Hyena going for yes with guess. Kinshir and Shield of Hope going for yes with die roll, and Roger C4 Wilco and Lil Bunny going for no. That is a new peacock headpiece. We got this piece with the turkey. It's a good thing we have the black mark on the front, because otherwise I don't think that I'd be able to tell which is which side, which is the front. See, and it is a peacock because it's a male minifig. And we have a sunflower. Spare parts, a brown 1x1 cylinder plate. Go ahead and zoom on in on our peacock. No printing on the back, but I do like the peacock feathers there. Also, nice, nice flower. Dual molded legs. We got bird arms. It's cute. All right, let's go ahead and zoom back on out. Go ahead and mark that one off. Okay, so that does mean that we have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, next Wednesday, we will be moving to the bottom register And every time I pull one out, I will slide one of the original top register in to replace it. And with that, it is time for us to call it a stream. Let's go ahead and see if there is anyone to raid right now. No, I think we'll just wrap it up tonight. All right. I want to thank you guys for coming on out. And I shall see you tomorrow for some more Spelljammer. We'll be back on Monday for some more not Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. And then next Wednesday and Friday, we will be building something else. Thank you all for coming out, and I shall see you next time. See you then, everyone.